All right, here we go. Carver and Lisi here with you. College football picks for week number 7. That's right. We are 7 weeks in. We've hit October. Big matchups this week. Got, of course, the Red River Shootout, though we're not allowed to call it that anymore, right, Joe? You can't call
Nah,
it
I
the Red
can't
River
can't do
Shootout.
that.
That's against the law. Lots of big games. Alabama, Mizzou, Georgia, the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Joe always with Georgia and Auburn coming up this week as well. Mike Carver here with you, along with the encyclopedia of college football, the one, the only. Go for the 2, Joe Lisi. Hi, Joe.
What's up, Carver? I'll tell you, this is it. Week number 7. We got going. You smacked me around a little bit. My first losing week. 3-4 in the college, 1-3 in the NFL. Not good. You put the kibosh on me because you got back. You came back from vacay, all rested and relaxed, and you had a bye week. And now I'm scrambling. I love the slate this week. I love the slate. I'll just say that. Love the slate, college and pro.
Really?
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's it.
Well, Joe's like, are we on X? Yeah, Joe, we're on X.
No, it just popped up. It just popped up.
We're on X, Joe. You got nothing to worry about. So we've got, of course, we're going to do the picks. Me and Joe are going to try to cram a lot of things in here. We're going to try to do the college picks. We got to do the NFL picks as well. Joe's very busy over the next couple of days.
He's got a lot of things
going on.
Don't make it sound like it's. Don't make it sound. You were busy all last week.
Listen, I had a lot of stuff going on yesterday with the kids. It's just
I'm going away for one day.
Is it just one day you're going away? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all right, Joe. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Here's I know you like the updates. Here, let me get you the updated book. That's actually you're 33-19. I missed a game on you last week. I didn't realize
you gave me a bad line on.
I didn't give you a bad line. The thing with doing these on Wednesdays or early Thursdays is the line's going to change by Saturday. That's part of the game.
Well, that's good for the fans. If they took Boise State on Saturday, they covered the 21.5. You marked me at 20.5.
Well, that's what it was when we did the pick.
But I stepped up to the podium. If I didn't tell you, I could have went with the 4.
I had no idea that I marked it.
So
I marked it as a win.
I'm an honest guy. That's it. I want it marked to the number, marked to the ledger.
You mentioned, Joe, just big picture. And then we'll I think we should do like we did with the NFL is we'll do the picks and then we'll just kind of run through some games that maybe neither of us are going to pick this week. But it is a massive week, Joe, in that you have this Alabama-Missouri game. You have the Georgia-Auburn game. Of course, Oklahoma-Texas. Lots of storylines there with Texas falling out of the top 25. You've got Arch looking miserable. Is Mateer going to play for Oklahoma? Lots of things in that. You've also got this Indiana-Oregon game where people giving lots of gas to Indiana. It's gone from 10.5 to 7.5. So a pretty sizable week here, Joe, of big matchups in college football.
Absolutely. And I actually told Coach Bowden and a few others, I actually give the inside edge to the Big Ten slate this week. I don't know why. I just, Ohio State, Illinois, Michigan, USC, Oregon, Indiana. You have Nebraska, Maryland, Iowa, Wisconsin. Those games are great. I mean, I love the SEC. And I'm going to probably watch every SEC game. But I would give, if you're being objective to these games, the slight edge of maybe importance to the Big Ten this week. Obviously, I want to see what transpires with Cignetti and Oregon. And let me just say this. I don't know where you are in this, but I've heard this a lot now. And it's sort of sickening that we're seeing that we have to discount a little Oregon because of the Penn State performance after they lost to the Ducks against you. Look, that was a pitiful performance. But when Oregon played Penn State, you got Penn State's best. This was a top 5 matchup. Penn State, needed to win the game. They didn't step up. Everything that had to be answered, okay, with Penn State, it was in that game. The fact that they limped out to Pasadena and laid an egg, yes, terrible performance, but I don't discount Oregon's performance the week previously because Penn State lost to UCLA. I'm just saying. It's a different mindset. These are college kids. You're not going to, they came out completely flat. And I'm not taking away from UCLA's victory. What I'm saying is when Penn State played Oregon, you got their A+ game. That was it was a whiteout. There was 110,000 fans. So the fact that we went from 10.5 with Indiana to all of a sudden, Oregon's discounted. Let me tell you, Eugene's going to be rocking on Saturday afternoon. And Signetti and Fernando Mendoza better have a different game plan, because if they're coming, just straight up, good luck with that.
Honestly, Joe, I'll just come right out and say it, because obviously we're kind of going to do picks first and then go to other games. That that game's on my card. I'll even, if you want, I know you will usually go first. I'll go right out of the gate and start. Pick number 1 for me. I'm taking Oregon on what I think is a discounted number this week. You're talking double digits in the look ahead.
Right.
You're talking 10.5 on Sunday, 7.5 now. I'm not buying it, Joe, with Indiana yet. I know they thumped Illinois, and we'll get to them with Ohio State this week, but I am going to take this Oregon team. I think they do win the game by 10+ points, especially at home. I think it's a tough spot for Signetti. I know he talks a tough game, and maybe after the last year and 6 weeks, I should be believing more in Indiana. But, Joe, they didn't play a road game. What was the one road game they played last year? Was it Ohio State they went last year? Was that
they got smacked.
And they got smacked.
35-7 or something.
This is a very, very tough spot for them to go all the way to Eugene and play in this game. I will lay the 7.5 with Oregon, Joe. That's pick number 1.
Well, it's not on my card, but I'd be leaning in Oregon as well. I mean, again, I have other games that I like a lot this week, so we'll see. But it's not a bad pick. Dante Moore playing lights out. Again, they're going to have to – Indiana wants to run the football, and as good as Mendoza is, he ain't going to complete 91% against that defense. Let's be honest, right? He's not. So they're going to have to run it a little. And I think that's where you saw Penn State even have some trouble. And that's a very physical rushing attack in Penn State, as opposed to, I don't want to say a finesse attack with Indiana, but not as dominant and blue collar as Penn State's, right? And they were able to contain them for much of the way. So we'll see. It's a good look. I love it. I do want to see how this game does play out, but I agree with you with the discount. I mean, you're getting 3.5 points or 3 points of discount. I'm looking at the stats. 139 for Penn State against that front seven, 3.9 yards per carry. Good luck, because that means long third downs for Fernando, and he's good, but he's not Heisman good. I'm sorry, and that's another thing. He could take a deep discount this weekend if they lose that game. So we'll see. I love that. Eddie, shout out to you, brother. Carver and Lisi breakfast, huh? Fruit Loops with Lisi and Carver and Lisi.
They got a new graphics guy. Yeah, we got a new graphic. The graphics guy, as you could see. Well, I don't know. Well, that's there it is, week 7. And man,
at least we got the CFB
10 games under. Thank God. Saturdays haven't been that awful for me, but 10 games under, Joe. That is pathetic. I need to now. I cut into you a little bit on the NFL this past week.
I had a bad week in the NFL. I should have just stick to totals. I would have.
But as I was saying to you last week, Joe, now that I'm kind of back in the swing every day.
Yeah.
I'm feeling don't
do that to me.
I'm feeling a little bit better about what I'm doing.
Don't take away from my luster here. Don't.
I'm not taking away. That's got nothing to do with you. You're out to an incredible start. You've had a huge year in college, 33-19 on our show. Everywhere else. I'm talking about me personally.
Okay.
I'm feeling a little bit better now that I'm kind of getting back into an everyday, doing a show every day with Doug on Bet Rivers and all that. I'm feeling a little bit better, like where I'm looking and stuff like that.
And I could tell you're totally focused on football now that the Yankees got smacked.
Well, I mean, that was as gutless.
I had Malusis on the show yesterday.
Did you? How was Mark? I love Mark.
I love Mark. Well, I told you 6 degrees of separation. I know he's close to you. Yeah. So we were talking like back a year ago, and come to find out we went to the same high school. So Malusis and I both went to Don Bosco. So now we have 6 degrees of separation with that. We're going to break bread one of these days. All 3 of us will get together. Yeah. But I told Malusis, Bosco's #1 in the state in football. I said, forget the Yankee update on Channel 11. Just go to Bosco playing St. Joe's this week. Hey, Mark Malusis.
Mark's got a little...
Mark Malusis with Channel 11. We're not going to get to the Yankee loss with Toronto. We're going to talk about Don Bosco playing.
That was as gutless as it gets. And by the way, Joe, wind blowing in Chicago tonight for the Brewers and the Cubs.
Carver, I have not played. I'm so happy. I have not played a stitch of
Joe's too locked in on La Tech and Kennesaw State tonight. He doesn't want to get involved in the baseball.
No. I'd rather if I'm gonna risk, I'd rather do it with the NFL on the Thursday night game or something else. I have donated too much.
I guess that also means. I guess that means also, now that I'm putting it all together, I guess that means no 30 minutes to kickoff with DRS and Tom.
No,
tonight
I'm off
for you,
this
I guess.
week.
No 30 minutes to kick off.
You want me to give you a live update from New Hope? I could do that.
It's all right.
Donnie will like that. Yeah, live from New Hope, intermittent internet on the river.
All right, Joe. I gave my first pick, Oregon -7.5. Give me your first pick.
Georgia Tech, and this is my best pick, and I was dead on last week with Washington. If that game was 2 minutes more in game time, I win against Maryland. They came out completely flat, but you have a team in Georgia Tech and Brent Key, 5-0. They have to win out to maintain pace with obviously Miami. I love their rushing attack. I love Haynes King. The series has led to Virginia Tech. They've won 3 of the last 4. But I've been on Virginia Tech the past couple of weeks, right? I was on them against NC State, catching 9.5. I thought that they would step up at homecoming. If you were ever going to get another follow through with Virginia Tech, it was going to come on homecoming, still undefeated in the conference. Right. They lose a very tough game to Wake Forest, now have to go on the road. I'm worried if you ever back, and it looks appealing, right? Oh, I want the 14.5, but I think these kids are checked out. You have an interim staff. There's nothing to play for. You saw it with Oklahoma State that people are transferring. I'm worried that they just mail it in the rest of the season. I think Georgia Tech is focused. I know they haven't covered it at home against Temple and their last game against Wake Forest that mattered. I think their guns are blazing. They rip it for 20 or more. They cover this line easy against the Hokies.
Yeah, 14.5, Joe. It's a big number, but
I'm willing to lay it. It's Georgia my best bet of the weekend.
Georgia Tech, Mortadell.
Mortadell. It's a Mortadell. Hey, the Mortadells, by the way, we were 3-4 last week, 3-1 on the Mortadells. So let me
get that extra notch.
The only loss we had was Washington. The only loss we had was Washington. Georgia Mortadell, right? Air Force Mortadell, Wisconsin Mortadell. 3-1 with the Mortadell. I can't give any more Mortadells than what we had.
I know.
Georgia Tech, Mortadell.
Eddie asking what stadium is in the background. It's actually, Eddie, the game that I'm going to talk about next for pick number 2 is the stadium in the background, and that would be the Cotton Bowl, which, of course, is where Texas and Oklahoma annually get together, the state fair, the whole pomp and circumstance down there. And, aside for Texas, Joe, and this will lead into my pick for pick number 2, can you believe they've fallen out of the top 25, and the polls are what they are. Polls are dopey as it is. But that Texas is still, at most books, the 6th choice to win the national title at like anywhere from 17 to 20 to 1, depending on where you are. Can you believe, Joe, that they're still that high on the board after these losses?
Yeah.
I guess they're thinking, because if they win out, I guess they're going to get into the playoff.
And it's the cachet, right? It's almost like that Tennessee factor last year, right, where they got in, that we knew they were one of the better teams, at least to start the year. They get smacked around here. They're out. They're completely done. They have no offensive identity. I don't know what they're trying to do. That was a terrible performance against Florida, Carver. I did like Florida. I thought that line was fishy, right? To see that performance, to see them just get smacked around by Florida was just, to me, just very impressive by the Gators. Yeah. So I can't back this team in any capacity.
Look, and obviously you have all the Arch questions as well. Here's one thing that I know, Joe. I'm not ready to say that, like a lot of people have this week, that Arch is a stiff. He's never going to be a good quarterback. Some guys take a little longer, Joe. And as you know, everything in today's day and age is Now. If you're not great now, you're never going to be great. You know, we've got guys in the NFL right now. I mean, he threw Baker to the side, right, Joe? And where's Baker now? I mean, it's just some guys take a little bit longer for some things. Here's what I do know about Arch, Joe. He better go back and play another year next year. He should not. And I know that the pressure will be there. And even though it hasn't been great, I'm sure he's probably going to have all these people tell him that he's going to be the number 1 overall pick anyway because he's a Manning. If I was him, Joe, I go play another year of college football after this. I think he's going to need another year after this before he goes into the NFL. That's just me thinking that way. Here's what I know about this, Joe. Oklahoma's got a defense now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma's got pretty good defense. Texas, I guess you could say, has defense. They haven't gotten much offensively out of Arch against good competition. This game, though, generally, Joe, and you know this because you're a big history guy, especially in the last 10 around years. Listen to some of these games, Joe. 45-40, 48-45, 39-27, 34-27, 53-45, 55-48, 49-0, 34-30. Yes, last year was under 40 points with a 34-3 Texas win, but that was a completely gutless Oklahoma team. I know Mateer is a maybe. We'll see what happens. I hope he does play, Joe, because as you could probably guess by what I'm saying here, I am going up, and away in this game on Saturday between Texas and Oklahoma. It was actually 41 a couple days ago, Joe. I guess they're thinking that Mateer is going to play because it's up to 43.5 now. But I'm going over, Joe. I think we can get both teams in the 20s. And I'm going over 43.5 for Texas and Oklahoma.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Interesting. I like Oklahoma in the game. Okay. It didn't make the card, but I would take the Sooners with the points, with the 1.5. I like them minus 104. Whether Hawkins plays or not, and Hawkins played in this game last year. He got boat raced. But again, he's a year older. That defense is much better. They can carry him. So for me, I don't care who plays quarterback right now. I've already baked in Mateer's out. If he steps out there, that's even better. I'll take the 1.5. I like minus 104. It's not a pick for me, but it's a good look. I think you can get points as well in the game. Listen, it's a rivalry game, and Texas right now, you can't start slow again.
No.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. You got to start somewhat fast. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, pick number 2 for me, Carver.
Mm-hmm.
Mortadell here. I'm taking Arkansas coming out of the bye week.
Oh,
so piggy, baby. They've won 4 straight in the series, including last year. They won this game 19-14. I know their defense sucks. I know, they could be potentially checked out. But Bobby Petrino wants this job. And again, I think he'll at least keep the offense in gear, meaning he'll tell Taylor Green, listen, I'll make you a number 1 pick in the NFL if you stay with me, brother. You know what I mean? Like, stay with me one more year. I think in this game, coming out after Pittman, after they lose to Notre Dame, the offense will be there. We know the defense stinks. But if it's a 70, 75 point game, track meet, I'm willing to take the 12.5. Give me Arkansas. This is they've won 4 straight in the series. These games have a tendency to go off the rails. I want the points on the road. I know Tennessee's been a dominant home team. I believe now, I got to double check. Outside the loss to Georgia, they might have won like 24 out of the last 25 games. I got to double check that. I know they're dominant. Listen, they might win, but 12.5 is way too much. Give me those backs. Give me those Razorbacks.
I don't mind it, Joe. I'm interested to see how they look now with Petrino taking over.
He fired everybody.
He fired
the D-line coach, the linebackers coach. So you can't get any worse than what they did against Notre Dame.
No. But I will say to you, can we get this game in the 70s? That's a big total, man. That is what is it, 68.5 right now with these two?
It could be an 80 spot. This could be an 80 spot.
49-38 Tennessee, something like that.
49-40. Hang in there. Hang in there.
Stay in that 12.5. Try to stay in there. All right, Joe. So 12.5 Arkansas, pick number 2 for Joe. Pick number 3 for me. I'll go after one of your teams, okay? I know how much you love this Joey Maguire and Texas Tech and how well they've played so far. But I think this is a little too much. I've watched a lot of Kansas the last few weeks because I've been on a lot of their totals. 14.5 for Jalen Daniels in this game. I'm going to take it, Joe, with Kansas. I know it's on the road down in Lubbock. I know that there'll probably be a lot of points in this game as well. But just getting over those two tutties, I think Texas Tech wins the game. I know they're going to keep themselves, being the best team in the Big 12, you think they're going to be in the college football playoff, all that stuff. But I think that Kansas has enough offense that they could stay within a big 14.5 number. So I'm going to take Leipold and Daniels and the crew with the 14.5 against Joey Maguire.
Not a bad look. I like the points as well, believe it or not. I think Daniels could be pose a problem now. I believe Texas Tech has won 4 straight in the series. Last time they played, I think, was back in 2023. So you can't really, use the last 4 or 5 years, but they have dominated from the series perspective. But again, if I'm not mistaken, the game in 23, and I got to double check, was that the one where KU missed a field goal and it went right down to the wire?
Crazy game.
Yeah,
and Daniels played in that game.
I believe
Kansas,
so.
So that was his big year.
Yeah. So obviously, defense much improved now with Joey Maguire and what they have. But I'm with you, Carver. Give me the points with Kansas. I don't mind that. I don't mind that in any capacity. I would take it. So that's pick number 2 for you, right?
That's pick number 3 for me.
Pick number 3 for me, Carver. I'm going to one of the SEC games, but I'm not taking a side. I'm not taking a side. Alabama, Missouri. So Bama won this game 34-0 last year, right? They dominated. They completely shut down Brady Cook and Carroll in that offense in the rushing attack. It was a tight game. I think it was 13-0 at half, and then in the second half, because of the offense not moving the football, Alabama just pulled away with Milroe. I think it's a different animal this year. Now, again, the matchup, just so you know, is can Ahmad Hardy run the football? That front seven for Bama is not that great.
No.
And they're giving up 4.6 yards per carry, 155 rushing yards per game. That's untypical of Alabama. So if Missouri can run it, they're going to be within the number. That spread to me, if I had to bet that game, I'd be taking the Tigers. I really would at home.
Okay.
But I'm not. I love the total. I think we blow. This is a Mortadell special. I think it opened up at 51.5. It's up to 52.5. Mortadell over Missouri and Alabama. Pick number 3 for me.
I've got it right now, Joe, at 51.5 as we're speaking right now.
We'll take 51.5.
51.5. I will tell you, Joe, I kind of like Missouri with the points. If I played a game, Joe, but I might get in with you on the over as well.
It just seems, Carver. I mean, look, back-to-back emotional games for Alabama. Vanderbilt at home, and people say, well, it's Vanderbilt. They had revenge on their mind, right? And then to go into Athens 2 weeks ago and that primetime game, and now you go to like lowly, I'm not downplaying Columbia, but you go to like lowly Missouri, right? But they're undefeated. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a tough spot for them right now. Look, there's the potential that Ty Simpson could put up 500 yards. That's what I'm hoping on. So we blow through this total. Alabama dictates the tempo, but I still think Missouri could run with them with Ahmad Hardy. So I love the total here.
Okay. Pick number, where are we at, Joe? Pick number 4, right?
No, 3.
Pick number 3.
No, did you go first?
I went first this time.
Right, so I have 3 more to delve.
This pick number 4.
All right, got it.
I'm going to go, Joe. I'll go to this one first. I'm going to save the game that I think that you're picking as well. I'm going to save that one to see if I can trap you into it. I'm going to go a little off the board in the Big Ten. I know there's a lot of Big Ten games this week. UCLA at Michigan State. UCLA coming off a huge upset at home. Now having to travel cross country to East Lansing. Jonathan Smith sitting there waiting for them in Sparty. UCLA is still really bad, Joe. Just because they beat Penn State last week does not change that UCLA is awful.
You don't believe in Neuheisel?
I don't. Oh, Joe, When was the last time you saw the offensive coordinator carried off the field like he's?
I mean, they made him out to be like a savior.
I don't have a problem with his dad in the studio, the cheering. It's his son, of course. But do we have to carry the kid off the field? How about the poor guy who's the interim coach? Can we give him a little bit of juice for winning the game?
I mean, he had the baby blues, the baby blues with the hair, and
here's what I know:
carrying him off the field not too long ago.
You know what you get this week, Joe? After a big win like that, going on the road, and I love going after the West Coast Big Ten teams when they got to go east, and I'm going it here. Sparty Joe, smash job against UCLA. Smash job for Jonathan Smith and the crew. -7.5. Michigan State, pick number 4 for me.
All right, I like it. It's not a bad look here, so I got to be careful. I think the camera's on my face. I can't fix it. It's going to be going all over the place. So all right. So I like the pick. I have many. I have to make this the 4th mortadell.
Okay.
So
they're all mortadels. Basically, all your picks are mortadels.
4 out of the 7 are mortadels.
Okay.
That means I like them more than the others.
What do you got?
I'm going out to the Bayou.
Okay.
Okay. And this team in LSU's got me perplexed. Supposedly, Garrett Nussmeier's healthy. All I know is this game last year had 65 points, maybe even more than that. I don't even remember. Lenora Sellers and that team ran through all over them. Robbie Asher came in. He had some success. Styles make fights. Sometimes you need a partner. I think this game, and my heart is with LSU. I'm not laying the 8.5. But my heart is on this total at 44. I think we can blow right through this 40. Carver, I think we get into the high 50s in this game. I'm telling you, this is going to be the game where Nussmeier attacks over the top. Lenora Sellers is going to have chunk yards in the rushing game because LSU typically struggles with mobile quarterbacks. Okay? This game has got points aplenty. Points. Mortadell. Don't move on me, camera. Don't move on me. Mortadell over 44.5.
Joe, I've done this a few times this year. I've played these LSU overs, thinking that this is the week where they're gonna score some points, and I hope you get it. I'm not going.
So you're off of it.
I'm not going anywhere near this LSU game. I don't want anything to do with it.
I love it. And Mortadell number 3. We got it in the bag. I love it. You're off of it. That's the best news.
I'm not playing it. I've been done with LSU over the totals for the last couple of weeks. I am not involved. I kind of want to take South Carolina plus the 8.5 just to go after you a little bit. I think I would have if you took LSU, but I'm not playing the game. I'll be away from LSU.
See how I neutralized you? I neutralized you.
Well, you did. I wouldn't say you neutralized me. Let's go to the next one. Another Big Ten game for me.
Oh, boy.
Another Big Ten game.
Okay.
This time we have the team from Michigan going west to California. Opposite. UCLA is going to Michigan State. Michigan is going to the Coliseum to see, of course, your buddy there and the Trojans at USC. I'm taking the Trojans and Lincoln Riley minus the 2.5 against Michigan, Joe. I don't even like Michigan on the road here. I understand they win Nebraska and they got to win. There's a long trip for them. USC minus 2.5. They're better at home than they are on the road. I'm going to take the Trojans to beat Michigan on Saturday, Joe.
All right, I like Michigan. I hope Michigan beats them up because I want to see Lincoln Riley out of there, and I have a tweet for Reggie Bush and line it ready again. I love going after them. They're crickets every time USC loses. Crickets. So not a bad pick. I think Michigan's a little too physical. I think Bryce Underwood could be a factor. But again, anytime you go out west could be tough. So I'll stay. I'm going to go to the ACC.
Okay.
I'm going to shock you here. Mason Heinsteichel. Okay.
Okay.
Look, I know Florida State, I think could be a 7 or an 8 win football team. But I really believe this is a tough spot for them with Pittsburgh coming to town.
Yeah.
Pitt is a blue-collar team. Now, maybe I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid because they smacked me in the teeth with Boston College. but they still have one of the best rush defenses in all of college football right now, statistically holding opposing offenses to 74 rushing yards per game. What is the strength of Florida State and Gus Malzahn? They want to run it, right? So, again, you're coming off two emotional losses, Virginia and Miami. You're back home. You're laying a double-digit number to a freshman quarterback that, oh, by the way, threw for 350 and 4 touchdowns. Now, I don't expect that on the road. I think we're under this 57.5, but I'm going to take those 10.5 points with Pittsburgh. I just think, again, defense travels well. This game, to me, means more to Narduzzi and potentially Pitt than it might. I'm not saying it doesn't matter to Florida State, but again, those thoughts of being a top 10 team, winning the ACC, you lose 2 conference games, all of a sudden a lot goes out the window, and I'm just worried about this team mindset-wise. There's no doubt I think they can win, but I'm going to take the 10.5 with the Panthers.
Man, if they burn you 2 weeks in a row, that Narduzzi's gonna be on the list, man. This is 2 weeks in a row. You're taking Pitt. They were completely gutless last week. Ooh, that's dangerous living for you, man. Going back to Pitt. All right, Pitt plus 10.5 for Joe. Pick number 6 for me. I'm gonna go another total. You were dead on with that Air Force Navy game last week, Joe. I mean, just points aplenty all over the place.
I had Air Force
I was on the under. But, man, they just would not stop scoring. That Air Force defense is abysmal. Now they're going to Allegiant. See UNLV and Dan Mullen, who could score too. I know, the weird thing is, Joe, this has gone down the last couple days. I believe this was around 67, 68.5 on Monday. I'm checking it in at 64.5 right now. So I'm going to buy it a little low. Taking the over, Joe, in Air Force and UNLV, over 64.5, POINTS, points. I think UNLV can get into the 40s by themselves. And I believe Air Force, with the way their offense is good enough to chip in 24 to 30 for me as well. Over 64.5 UNLV and Air Force.
I like the look. Not a bad look. So I hope you get it. Again, UNLV playing very well. Dan Mullen potentially looked at his other jobs. Arkansas was one. I can't believe that, but we'll see exactly what you might get it. I mean, pathetic type of defense.
Right.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm nervous about this game.
Come on.
Very nervous.
I want you to. I've been waiting. I've been setting the trap because I've been holding out my last pick, waiting to see if you'd pick the game too.
The SEC's oldest rivalry. Look, something smells with this line. The 3.5. Look, I know Coach Bowden will be on the sidelines, by the way. His first game back to Auburn since he got let go in 98.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah. Whoa. I'm moving around. I got to be careful there. Hang on. Hang on. Let me see if I can just calm down. So anyway, Georgia's won 8 straight in the series. They've won the last 4 by an average margin of victory of like 21 points per game.
They sure have.
The spread is 3.5. It's a night game on the Plains. I don't care. Look, they got the better coach. They got the better quarterback. Jackson Arnold is completely gutless. I don't care that Coach Bowden's on the sidelines. I know their defense is good. They might be slightly statistically better than Georgia right now. There is no, I can't do it. I can't take the points. Can't take the points. I'm taking Georgia minus the 3. It's not a mortadell, but I'm laying the 3.5 with the Bulldogs. There is no way Kirby's going on the Plains to Auburn and losing to Hugh Freeze. No shot. I said it. No shot. Georgia minus the 3.5.
Joe, what did I say to you last week in the Georgia-Kentucky game?
You almost cost us.
What did I say to you? I said, look at me. Georgia is going to smash Auburn on Saturday night.
You know it was on my card.
They are going to smash Auburn. Last week I backed off. I didn't put it on my card. I let you have the spotlight. I'm not doing it this week. This is my Ruby Slipper, Mortadella, whatever you want to call it for Saturday night. Georgia, minus 3.5. In fact, Joe, that's for the sake of the show. If you want to go in with me, let's alt it 6.5, 9.5. We'll get right underneath all the... Boom, Joe. Laying the hammer, Kirby. Jackson Arnold. You think Jackson Arnold's beating Georgia on Saturday night? Joe, you just said it. No shot. for Auburn in this game. No shot. And we
Yeah.
need them to lose some games here, Joe. And what we got, 6.5 under for
Yeah,
Auburn?
we have
or
2,
7.5?
right? We have
got
2.
we need
No,
we can start getting pounded here.
It's not. It's 7.5. We
7.5.
yes.
7.5 was the Auburn number. We
Yes,
have somebody else at 6.5 that's not
yeah.
going to come in. But either way, Joe, Georgia minus 3.5. Don't care if it's a checker on a checker. I'll take it this week. Just like last week, I'm very confident in Georgia. I think that after the Alabama game, there's a mission there now. I know it was dicey to cover last week. I understand that, but that was a big number. This isn't. I think it's a 10-plus point win for Georgia, Joe, in this game. No problem. No problem, Joe.
So
all right,
I gotta get my last pick.
Oh, that's right. I went first this week. How about that?
My last pick. I'm going after the number 1 team in the country.
Ooh.
I'm going to take a shot with Big Bad Brett. Big Bad Brett. Look, I don't think that. I think this game could play right on the number.
Right.
So you're getting 14.5 now. Wouldn't shock me if they backdoor it, they lose it by 10. I just think that Illinois, knowing that this is another big game and they could erase what happened against Indiana, they did that with the win against USC, but they can completely erase it if they play or somehow pull this game out. Julian saying on the road, he stepped up against Washington and Seattle. He's playing lights out. He's playing like potentially a dark horse Heisman contender. This defense, I've said it, is the best in the nation from what I've seen through 6 or 7 weeks of college football. There's no doubt about it. I think Illinois gets them into this ugly game. I just think it's an ugly 8-minute drive. Let's utilize. I am, Eddie. I'm sorry. I'm not going after them on the money line. I'm going after them with the points. I think 14.5 is way too much on the road here. I just think it's an under, and I think that Illinois somehow, some way can find their way inside the 14.5 in Champaign, big noon kickoff. There's going to be gas. I'm going to take the points with Big Bad Brett.
Big Bad Brett for Joe. All right, the Carver and Lisi college football picks for week 7. I have Oregon minus 7.5, Texas, Oklahoma over 43.5, Kansas plus 14.5, Michigan State minus 7.5, USC minus 2.5, UNLV Air Force over 64.5, and Georgia minus 3.5. Joe, Georgia Tech minus 14.5, Arkansas plus 12.5, Bama and Mizzou over 51.5, LSU South Carolina over 44.5, Pitt plus the 10.5, Georgia minus 3.5, and Illinois plus the 14.5.
Yeah, and the Mortadels, Georgia Tech, Arkansas over Bama, over LSU. The 4 Mortadels.
All right. Let's here we go, Joe. I'm going to rapid fire a bunch of games neither of us picked and we have not talked about yet. Tell me your feelings on it. First of all, system play Friday night in North Texas, where the Mean Green are 1.5-point favorites over 24th ranked USF. Mean Green, Joe, system play.
Nah, Mean Green can't compete in the trenches with USF.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the points. I think they win it outright. I'm gonna give me goal.
1.5. You know, it's
I'll take them on the money line.
Yeah, but it's like a pick 'em on the money. You know, it's pick.
Could we get that total? Is the question.
66.5 in that game. Whoo.
Could be.
Chris asking if Belichick's getting the axe this week. I don't know. They put out the big missive last night that he's not, right?
Yeah, he's
had all the stories in the afternoon, and then
he's totally committed.
I know one thing, Joe. It seems like a real bad situation.
It's not good.
It's not a good.
They have the old man on the way out.
Let me see some other ones we didn't do. How about man, Lane's laying 32.5 against Washington State, huh? Oh, that's a big number for him. Houston laying 14.5 in Stillwater against Oklahoma State. Nebraska minus 6.5 in College Park. I'm a little surprised you didn't go after Loxley. You love going after
that game. I watched that whole game. Washington should have won. They did win, but they should have covered.
I know.
The number 1 team. They came out so flat in the first half. So flat.
Is this the week? Now, we thought last week Franklin and Penn State would respond off of a loss to Oregon by beating up a bad team, albeit on the road. Now back in the confines of Happy Valley, Northwestern comes calling minus 22.5.
I can't do it.
I can't do it either.
I want to do it, but I can't do it.
You want to take Northwestern?
Yeah, I
You're
can't
not going
do
to
it.
do it. You can't trust this
I
brawn.
can't.
You're not going to do it. You're not going to take them.
They're terrible.
I want to take Northwestern too, but I gotta look. 2 weeks of turmoil. There's got to be a foot on the gas spot at some point for Penn State, right, Joe? I mean, there just
You would
has to be
think,
one,
right?
But I'm not going to play with fire and try. I'm not going to go after it. Notre Dame 22.5 against NC State. Hey, remember, Notre Dame losses, Joe, are looking a lot better right now with how Miami and Texas A&M have played.
Yes.
They're going to win every game and they're going to get in. That's the team in the 20 to 40 to 1 range for the national title that I think that you could take a shot on right now is Notre Dame.
I can't.
Carr's playing well too.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
You want to lay 22.5 against?
I'm going to take the points. It's 2-2 in the series.
Really?
Yeah. 2-2 in the series. NC State, I think, catching 22.5.
Those were good NC State teams. I remember that. I mean, they lost that awful game in the hurricane
with Bradley Chubb.
Ago.
Remember Bradley Chubb?
God,
Bradley Chubb.
The hurricane. Brian Kelly standing there on the sideline with a dopey look on his face as they're playing in a hurricane in Raleigh. Iowa State on the road for the second week in a row. Now, last week, Joe, system play was a winner with Cincinnati. They were a short favorite at home against Iowa State. Colorado's getting close, but not quite there. It's Iowa State minus 2.5 in Boulder with a 51.5 total. I think Iowa State gets right, Joe.
Do you?
Yeah.
I sort of like Iowa State a little. I mean, I like Iowa State to potentially step up. I mean, it's a tough spot, but Boulder, I mean, he's 0-3 in the Big 12, right. Dion. He's coming off surgery, you know?
Yeah. This game almost made my card. I know Kansas State has been awful.
Right.
But they're getting a 1.5 basically at home against TCU. Kind of like Kansas State this week, believe it or not. I think it's the ultimate buy low for Kansas State with how putrid they've been. I think that they could show up and play.
Yeah, not a bad look. They're playing a little bit with house money right now. So let me see what else.
Surprised Iowa, Wisconsin wasn't on your card.
No.
Wisconsin getting 3.5 at home. 35.5, Joe.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Can't do it either.
What about Arizona over BYU?
I'm going to get there. Give me 1 second. I got 2 more to get to, and then I'm going to go to that game.
Yeah.
Florida getting 7.5.
I like A&M.
Station. You like A&M? I look at that Florida, Joe. Might be a little like, I know they're not putrid like UCLA, but enormous win at home, going on the road. That and Texas A&M is actually a good team, unlike Michigan State, but still.
Well, but just so you know, both teams have terrible third down offense, 34%, right? Florida converted. They were entering that game 30% against Texas. They converted 50, 7 of 14. So maybe they have a little momentum, but Texas A&M plays much better third down defense, 22% on third downs compared to Florida at around 31%. So that could be the matchup, especially if Florida reverts back to their ways. I have more confidence at home with Marcel Reed than I do DJ Lagway in that spot. I mean, again, it wouldn't shock me if Florida pulls the upset because typically these games go right down to the wire, and Florida over the years has beaten A&M, but we'll see.
It's A&M or pass for me, Joe. If I was playing the game, I'd either lay it with A&M or not get involved. I kind of like Purdue getting 9.5 in Minnesota against the Gophers. I do kind of like that.
I like Boston College again.
Getting 14.5 at home under the lights against Clemson.
Look, they have nothing to play for. They've lost 4 straight. Clemson has won 12 straight in the series, but they haven't played, I think, in like 2 or 3 years. So that's always a cause of concern. But, you know, it's just they were so flat last week.
I know.
At home. I think O'Brien's on the way out, too.
Man, he's done an awful job there. Here's the game you were mentioning. I do kind of like this game, too. I thought about Arizona getting a 1.5 at home against Sataki and BYU. Total 47.5. BYU's out to a pretty good start now, Joe, being 5-0, and they're ranked in the top 20. But I kind of like Arizona the way they've played too. I don't mind Arizona.
4-1. I mean, I think we can get a track meet. You know, can they push tempo?
47 and a half.
I know. I think we can blow through that. So we'll see.
Okay. Boise laying 16 and a half to New Mexico on the blue turf. These are some of our late night games. I really want to watch this Utah-Arizona State game.
Yeah.
Dillingham on the road getting 5.5 against your boy, the Jaw there.
Yeah.
48 and a half total. I like it screams to take Arizona State, Joe, at 5.5, but there's also kind of a little bit of it feels a little fishy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Getting 5.5 with
does.
Arizona State.
I know, but maybe they get. I don't know. Maybe we can get the total there. Maybe we get the total there. What's that total?
48 and a half.
Yeah, I think maybe we can get that. Ooh.
And Hawaii's on the Big Island this week against Utah State for your midnight game.
I have no interest on the late night. I'm
half,
hoping to kill it between 12 and 4 o'clock.
All right, Joe. There you go. The Carver and Lisi college football picks for week number 7, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Week 7 we've hit. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the NFL picks as well. We're going to be a little bit quicker with that. Obviously, the NFL doesn't take as long. So everyone who's hanging, we're going to dump out and come back with the NFL logos. That's how we're going to do it, Joe.
All right,
so dump out. Because that way, because Joe, some people listen to the podcast just to college. Some people just want to hear the
All right,
NFL.
I'll get a cup of coffee. That's good.
Get a cup of coffee. We're going to send Joe a new link. We're going to come back with the NFL logos and we got to put the graphics team to work, Joe. I mean, we have them.